So I'll ask you again. What is your first and last name, please?
Vivian Mercado.
Okay. And can I have the spelling of your first and last name, please?
Sure. First name is Vivian, and then my last name Mercado.
Okay. And first question. Are you a resident or have you been a resident of Lancaster City?
I am. I've been a resident of Lancaster City literally my entire life. I came here when I was about like 2 or 3, and I'm pretty old now, so it's been a while. Yeah.
All right. Have you swam in any of the rivers in Lancaster City?
I have County Park River. That was like the main one. I would always go down there either with friends, or I remember my aunt used to take me down there a lot. I used to spend a lot of my summer days with her, so we would always go down there.
All right. Can you tell us about those experiences with her, and any other experiences you've had with the river?
Sure. All of my experiences have been good with the river. I mean, I just remember, like, for me, the river just screams like good memories for me. Like, it's always been good times. I've always gone down there and played around with friends. My aunt, like I said, my aunt used to take me down there all the time when I was a kid, and we would just spend time down there, either like picking rocks up and like skipping rocks, or we're like full body in the river with like all our clothes on, just like laying there flat, like just letting the sun hit us. It was always like great times. I can't remember like one bad time that I've ever had down there.
All right. Let's focus specifically on Lancaster City now, and in your summers in Lancaster City, whether it was at a camp or anything like that. Did you go to any summer camps, or did you spend time with family and friends mostly?
I think it was a mix of both. I do remember I went to this summer camp down all the way at the end of like Beaver Street, going towards like Prince, like all the way down there. And I remember they actually did a lot with us. We used to go play basketball. We had like a basketball team at the camp, so like I was on the basketball team. I was like feeling myself because like I thought I could play sports. And like I remember they let us play tennis. But a lot of my memories as a kid in the city were with friends. Like all of my friends were like neighborhood friends. I grew up on North Street, so I'm a North Street baby. Like I remember being down the street from the Mix, like the Arbor Place, and like Bethel is the church on the corner. So like a lot of my friends were close by. So I remember us like going out, and it was always like either like out on the porch, or I remember like we used to me and my girlfriends used to make dances up like outside on the porch, like while the music's playing in the house. 106 and Park is on. Like those were my days. Like, or playing manhunt like with all of like the neighborhood kids, or like hide and seek like around the blocks and stuff, until our moms came like yelling our names, and then we knew like it was time to come inside.
All right. Experiences at County Pool. Did you and your family frequent County Pool? Was it sparingly? Can you tell us about your experience at County Pool?
Yeah, not so much like me and my family, but like a lot of times me and my friends were always at County Pool. I was at County Pool often. I mean, like I said, I was in that summer camp, so they would take us to the pool too, but more so like as I got older, especially, it was more me and my friends, and like, you know, trying to be grown-ups, but not really grown-ups. Like when we finally got that like let go of the leash to go somewhere on our own, it was always like straight to the pool, and we're like sitting by the pool, or like having girl time sitting by the pool and stuff. It was always good memories there too. I know everybody used to like group up and meet at the pool. That was like a meeting spot for everybody. So it's like, what are you doing today? Calling your friends like on the house phone, like, where are you going? Like, are you trying to walk to the pool? And we're all walking down the county park. Like,
were there times that you would walk down to County Park with your friends and go to the river instead of the pool?
oh yeah, it would always be days where like, let's say we get to County Park and we see the line coming outside of the pool, and it's like wrapping around, and me and my friends like all take a look at each other, and we're like, Well, the river's right there, so we might as well. And we always like end up at the river, and we'd be at the river until we see kids walking past the bridge, like everybody's leaving the pool. So we're like, oh, all right, must be time to go home. Like,
All right. Let's get into would you swim in the river today?
I think I would. I feel like the river is always like a place of like good spirits for me. So like I said, I've never had a bad memory down the pool or the river. So anytime I go down there, I just feel like why not? Like especially on like hot summer days and like I said, like now it's different because I'm a mom now also. So like I would want those memories for my daughter too. Like I want her to be outside and like run around and stuff. Like kids nowadays they're more so like inside they want to watch other kids be outside and play and get wet and stuff instead of wanting to do it on their own. So like I'm very big on like always taking her and especially and I'm like a fish. So like I love the water. Anything about the water, the summer, I'm all for it. So she knows like we spend most of our days poolside like until it's dark out.
All right. So, talking about kids, would you let your kids swim in the river today?
I think I would. Yeah, most definitely. My daughter definitely has to experience that. She has to know there's more life outside of her iPad and like inside and like TikTok and all that stuff.
All right. Whether positive or negative, your current thoughts on the state of the river today.
I definitely feel like it's not what it used to be. As far as like appearance goes, I feel like it's definitely become more of like a wasteful spot. Like in some areas, like there's nicer parts of the river, but some parts you walk by or like you drive by and you see it, and it's not what it used to be. So I definitely feel like it could be better, but I mean, it's still a good place.
All right. What do you feel as though can be done to improve the situation at the river?
I feel like maybe if people are just more mindful of what they're doing to the outside like environment, like not being so careless about where they throw things or put things or leave things. I feel like that would help because I mean you look at it and it's like sometimes it's not the prettiest, but there's more to it. I mean like just little things, people just being more mindful of where they're throwing things.
And do you feel as though the mayor, city council, the current administration of city government can or should do anything to address the river's needs right now?
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. The city always needs improvements. Obviously, you see them like constantly working on the streets and like filling all the potholes that come. So I feel like putting that effort into the river and like, things that actually benefit us as a whole community, I feel like that's just as important.
Absolutely. We're here coming up on our last few questions here. So, what are your whether it's positive or negative, what are your lasting thoughts on the river and in the state that it's in today?
Um, I mean, I know that there's room for improvement. Like I said, it can always get better. I don't feel like it can get any worse. I feel like if it's worse, it's at its worst that it's been right now. Like, but with like little adjustments, I feel like we could bring it back to life. I don't think it's gonna take much for that.
All right. And is there anything I missed or something you want to add about the river? Any kind of experiences, positive or negative?
I don't think there's anything I want to add. I feel like we should just continue to like love the river, always bring it like good memories and positivity because I know like people still go down there and like I see like people taking like random hikes and stuff and they end up down at the river. I mean, I did myself go down to County Park with my daughter all the time and like I'll pass by the river. So.
All right. And same question I asked Jaima.
Mm-hmm.
as a woman of color, do you feel as though that you were ever educated on the river or on the environment at all?
Definitely not. I feel like if there's any experience that I've gained, it was on my own or coming from like people I knew. Like I said, my aunt introduced me to the river. Like she was more so like where I got my toes wet for the first time, we could say. Like, so she, if anybody gave me any history on it, it was her. And she gave me all of those positive experiences that I had down there and all those memories that I can keep and that I had as a child. Like, she most definitely did that for me. I don't think it came from anywhere else.
All right, all right. Well, that is all that I have. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank
Let me,
you.
stop.